This is a Swift Challenger 530, just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. The connection you see down the side here is the motor mover safety switch. You do need to make sure that is plugged into the side of there prior to operating the motor mover. We'll demonstrate the rest of the operation while you're here on site. Just wanted to have the reminder for you in the video of that. ATC, I'll also explain how that works while you're here. Front locker, you've got your two gas bottle tie downs, and on the bulkhead you've got your gas regulator itself. We do have the pipe work available here on site should you need to buy it. It's £15 a pipe, it's available in our shop or during the handover. So like I said, maximum of two 6 kilo bottles on board the van at any point. If you come down the side of the van, you've got your Aldi heating and hot water flue. This very much does the same as what your flue does on the side of your house. You don't need to do anything with it when you arrive on site, it's all open and ready to go. Below that you have your wind down legs, and there's one on the opposite side in the same place as well to stabilise the opposite side of the caravan. You've then got your water pump connection, which very simply pull back the blue trigger to release it from the side of the caravan. You need to wobble it out, then pull it out, and the same to push it into place, and the little blue tab there locks it in place. And you've got your pickup pipe that drops down inside the aqua roll itself. Then got your mains power lead coming into the caravan from the power on site. You'll also see the red motor mover power switch in the back of there also, and like I said, we'll demonstrate the mover while you're here on site. Battery locker, battery box, you've got your two quick release terminals there for the battery itself. Going further down the side of the van, you've got your motor mover and wheel nuts. The motor mover will demonstrate while you're here on site, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting so you can see they've been tightened correctly. Fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere, so you'll see down the side of the van here these two grey pipes, these two bits of grey pipe. You'll open these up and you'll put your two bits of grey pipe into these larger diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside the waste master that sits below. That is just your sinks and your shower wastewater. Come through there. Then have your toilet flush tank. You open this up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. In the bottom, we have the toilet waste cassette itself, where you pull up the orange handle and pull the cassette towards you. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees, tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette, you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. On the back of the van, you've got your two great wind down legs to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. Like I said, you never lift the van with those because it potentially damaged the floor. Coming down the door side of the caravan, you've got your two fridge vents which allow the fridge system to breathe. Behind the top one, just here, you've actually got gas flue as well for when the fridge is running on gas. Don't ever cover those up while it's in use. You've then got your 3-pin socket so you can have power out to your running on the outside of the van. Your storage locker for underneath the front seating area. Your barbecue gas point and the last wind down leg. Going on to the inside of the caravan now. So as you come into the caravan, above the door, you'll see the main control panel for the caravan. So you've got your master power switch. The two lights here indicate that you've got mains power coming from the caravan site to the caravan itself. And then on the car, if you connect to the car, you'll have an orange light on the car and a green light on the caravan, which indicates you've got 12 volt coming into the caravan. If you've got all three lit up, then you'll need to either disconnect the power post from the site or the car itself. Leisure battery voltage on the left hand side here. View levels will do the same thing again, bring up the levels on either side. And if you connect to the car, you can press the vehicle battery voltage and it'll bring up the voltage here for what is coming through from the car. You've got your water pump run here on the left hand side, and I'll come back to this in a moment. First thing you need to do when you come into the caravan is open all the taps up on the hot side of the water system so the water system can fill up. At that point, you're going to come underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan. And underneath here, you will find, oh, a bit further along on this one, so underneath this front cushion here, you'll find a panel that you can lift up, and below this panel, when I can see it, there'll be a yellow drain down valve. So that yellow drain down valve will be, that yellow drain down valve is just there. So when you try to fill the system up, it needs to be flat with the floor as it is at the moment, and when you're draining the water system down, it needs to be upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat. So once you've got that valve flat with the floor, and you've got your aqua roll connected on the outside of the caravan, we're going to come up to the master control, or over the main control panel above the door. Turn on the water pump, and it will allow the water system to start filling up. Now when that water system is completely full, you'll have water running out of every tap on board the caravan continuously, as we have now. And at that point you can shut all of the taps back off, and you can start warming the water on board the van. So just coming down to the control panel now, to the audio heating and hot water, which is just here. You're going to press the power button on the left hand side to turn the control panel on. On the screen here you'll see that you've got an indicator to say the heating pump is running. You've got an indicator here to say you've got mains power coming into the van, and you've got the current room temperature at the bottom. We're going to press menu, and it will take us into the options for the heating and hot water. So you've got minus or plus for your room temperature, depending on where you want the room temperature to be. Press and hold and it will go all the way back down to 5, which is the off position. I'm just going to show you that. So as you can see, heating's now off. Below that you've got your water temperature. So you've got water on when this bar's halfway up, and you've got water boost when this bar is completely full. So water on and water boost. Below that you've got the amount of power coming to the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So you've got the option of 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of power coming into the caravan, and it will depend on what caravan site you're on to what you set this to. If you're on a site with 1 kilowatt, for instance, you'll set it to 1. If you're on a site with 3, you'll set it to 3 kilowatts available. Essentially that just controls the amount of power going to the heating and hot water system. The best way of finding out what to set this to is by asking the site office when you arrive on your holiday. At the bottom here, you've got your option to run gas. So you've got gas off or gas on. The system will self-ignite on gas, and if it fails to ignite, it'll come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen. And if it does do that, and you know the gas is turned on, you just go off and try again to reignite for as many times it takes to ignite. Bottom right hand side of the screen here, you do have some advanced settings for the heating and hot water systems. For these, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan, as if I tried to go through them in the video, it'd probably take me around 2 to 3 hours to complete. Next thing we go to is the fridge. Now the fridge is very simple to use. You've got power on the left hand side here. Now at the moment you can just about see that there's a blue light in the plug symbol, and that is indicating that we are running our mains power for the operation of the fridge. You can control the fridge temperature by using the button on the right hand side here, and the more bars you have lit up, the colder the fridge will be. Next option is the gas. Now the fridge will self-ignite on gas. It will actually fail to ignite in a moment because there's no gas bottle on board the van. If it fails to ignite, it will flash the blue flame symbol here, and it will flash the red warning triangle on the right hand side, and it will also beep at you to indicate it has failed to ignite. Again, if it does fail to ignite, you can reset the igniter by pressing and holding the warning triangle on the right hand side, and after a few seconds you'll hear the igniter kick back in. 12 volt mode, which is the last symbol you see here on the right hand side, is the 12 volt supply coming from the car to the caravan. Essentially what that will do is allow the fridge to run as a cool box as you are travelling down the road. Now at the moment you can see it's saying it isn't working, just due to the fact we haven't got a car connected at the front, as you can see. But when you do use the 12 volt mode for the fridge, you do not need to have the control panel turned on above the door. That can be turned off, and then you can just come inside, hit the power button on the left hand side, and then the battery symbol, and the fridge will start operating as a cool box. Microwave, hob, grill and oven, all work very much like your household appliances, no difference at all there. The only difference being is if you're not on a 240 mains hookup, the electric ring won't work on the back of the hob, and the same as the microwave above. Again, that does require 240 power to operate. Coming into the bathroom now, we've got the toilet system. So you can flush the toilet by pressing the blue button on top. You've got a toilet full indicator light that illuminates red when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself does actually turn for your convenience, as you can see. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, the toilet needs to be in the straight on position, as it is now. Then below the toilet, you have a grey waste handle. Again, when you remove that toilet waste cassette, this handle needs to be in the central position. And when you're using the toilet, it needs to be in this open position, as it is now. So that is the basic operation of the caravan. One last thing I'm going to show you is the trip switches and the fuse boards inside this particular van, just so you can see where they are and see how they operate. So underneath the seating on the front right hand side of the caravan, where the hot water tank is, you will also see underneath here your 240 trip switches and your 12-volt fuses for the caravan. Top left hand side here, you have a master system shutdown, so I can hit that button and it will isolate all of the power on board the caravan. You have your 12-volt fuses down here on the bottom left hand side, which allows the 12-volt systems on board the caravan to operate, and you have a list of what each of those is for just on the door. You then have your main power switches, you have your reverse polarity, your charger switch, which you need to have on at all times for it to charge the battery on board the caravan, and then you have your heating and hot water main power supply to the control panel on the wall. The fuse on the end here is just a spare fuse, and you don't need to do anything with that. On the right hand side here at the bottom, you've got your 240 trip switches. To test you've got power coming to the caravan, you can hit the test switch here, and if it drops down the power switch, it means there is 240 mains coming into the caravan and it is operating as it should. If that doesn't drop down, it means there's no power coming from the caravan site you're on to the caravan itself. And to the right here, you've got 3 trip switches, which again are all marked up on the door just inside the cabinet. So that is the Swift Challenger 530. That's the fridge bleeping away in the background there to tell me it's on 12-volt mode. So this is a Swift Challenger 530. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here soon when you collect the caravan. Thank you again. Bye-bye.